Peace.
Peace.
This is Joshua Miller Law, Mr. PhD. You're just now entering the cipher called Real2reel360. KYs.
Peace, God.
Bring that beat in, kid.
Indeed.
Peace.
Yeah. What's going on, party people? Welcome to the Real2reel360 show. Let's get it in. We do the knowledge and wisdom so you can understand. Real2reel360 shows in full command. We changing the game for how it all was taught. From bondage to freedom to an independent thought. Yo, the show is here to bring about a change for real. To lighten everyone so we all know the deal. 360 degrees is a fact. We created the show to give our love back to our communities so we can know what's going on and give them the support from knowledge to born. So if you're ready to learn, then it's time to go. Sit back and relax and enjoy your show. Peace.
What's good? What's good? Peace, party people in the place to be. Peace to Allah's mighty 5% nation of gods and nurse. I am DJ KYs, aka Kato, the Black Superhero. Welcome to the Real2reel360 show. Look no further. We had him once before and we got him again. But I ain't gonna tell you who he is because I'm gonna let my brother bring him on without a doubt. You ain't gonna miss this. It's gonna be fun-filled thrill. Trust and believe. Mr. Superstar is here with us. Yo, my brother in God, are you ready? Here we go.
Am I the meanest?
Sure enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Sure enough.
But who am I?
Joshua Miller Law.
Who am I?
Joshua Miller Law.
I can't hear you.
Joshua Miller Law, Mr. PhD.
He's in the building. He's in the building. He's in the building.
Peace to Allah's 5%. For those who are on our YouTube channel, like and subscribe and share with other individuals. Let them know that they don't want to miss not one interview. But today we have a epic entertainer. He tell you if he get drunk tonight, make sure he gets home. He sings Family Reunion. He remade a classic. He's the one and only Mr. Bigg RoBb, BIGGRoBb. Bring him in the building.
Fellas, what's happening? What's happening?
The Bigg RoBb is in the. What's good, Big?
Man, all the glory goes to God, man. How you brothers been doing since the last time we got a chance to sit down and chat?
We got a little crazy.
Look like neither one of y'all losing no weight, so y'all been doing good.
we just got a little crazier, man. You done poured off on us.
Hey, man, well, it's okay, man. You know, I mean, it's okay. You gotta let your light shine, brother. Gotta let your light shine.
Absolutely.
Right. But Bigg RoBb, I want to say thank you from the very beginning when you coming on the first time.
Yes.
And giving us an opportunity to have you on was a pleasure for myself and for my brother, and to get a little bit of the history of Bigg RoBb and knowing where you come from when it comes down to music, because people don't understand your musical history and the part that you played in music. They just know about the Southern soul. They don't know about the funk.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They don't know about how you are the entertainer. They don't know how you bring sexy back for the big dudes.
Please believe that. Hey, look, everything else you said, I'm just kind of saying, okay. When you said that, I agree 1,000%. Right. Best looking fat man in show business. Ask your grandmama, your baby mama, your first school teacher. She'll tell you it's BIGGRoBb, Bigg RoBb, baby.
Now, Bigg RoBb, what's been going on since the last time we spoke?
But first of all, let me say this, man. Thank you for the accolades, man. All the glory goes to God. It's not me, it's him. You know what I mean? It's not, he's just, I'm just trying to let my light shine and make the best out of every day, get every click. We all only get so many clicks on that clock. So I'm trying to make each one of them clicks count. You follow me? But man, what's going on? We've been out doing shows, and at the beginning of this year, I had to shut everything down and go to the studio And I just spent the last 90 days in there. I guess, what month is this, man? We in May now. As a matter of fact, it's Cinco de Mayo. So
Yes, sir.
I spent January, February, March, definitely February, March, and April, working on my new album. It's 19 songs strong, because I want to give people their money's worth, and it's what I call a no-skip album. I think it's my best work yet. I set up live drums, got real horn players, guitar players. If we had to go down and, put the microphone through the window of the church and get the organ on there, that's whatever we had to do to make the music sound good, is what I've been doing for the last, 90 days. I write all the time, but that's what we're doing. So we got a brand new Bigg RoBb collection, the No Skip collection. It's called Vintage. And I just wanted to make some music for anybody for our generation and on back. Would you follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bigg RoBb, you speaking on Vintage. That's one of your singles that's on your album, and you just finished a video to it. And we have it here on Real2reel360. And
man. Well, what can you play it?
Yes, sir. We wanted you to break it right here.
Can we?
Well, everybody, this is the world premiere of it. I shot this video actually in Houston, Texas. And special shout out to my nephew, Freddie Dang, my little sister, Tiff, my road manager, Uncle John, and the whole crew and everybody. This is the title track of my new album. It's called Vintage. And the song has a message to it. And I'm just hoping that all the brothers out there's got a little gray on your hair, you done raised your kids, and you're just, living your best life now. I just hope this becomes y'all's theme song. So don't let them call us old school. Don't let them call us OG. Don't let them call it throwback. Just call us vintage, baby.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Here it is. Yeah, on the Real to Real, baby.
How you doing, beautiful?
Hey, Bigg RoBb.
I can see you like what you're looking at, huh?
Yeah, you got that salt and pepper in your beard. Looking kind of throwback.
I'm not an old man, no, baby.
Oh, really?
I prefer to call it vintage.
Vintage? I like the sound of that.
Sometimes I wear sneakers, other times explosion shoes. 'Cause that's just the way that us grown men do. I've been here for a while, and I'm not ashamed to say all my children is grown, and my hair getting gray. I'm a hard-working man, baby. Said I work hard so I can play hard. I play hard, that's why I work hard. I'm a hard-working man, baby. Said I work hard so I can play hard. I play hard, that's why I work hard. They call me vintage. Said I've been here for a while. Vintage. Still doing it old school style. They call me vintage. Said I've been here for a while. Vintage. Still doing it old school style. Now I don't use nobody. I pays my own way. And I don't understand folks who don't wanna pay to play. I like nice things. That's why I work my fingers to the bone. God bless the child. It's got his own name. I'm a hard-working man, baby. Said I work hard so I can play hard. I play hard, that's why I work hard. I'm a hard-working man, baby. Said I work hard so I can play hard. I play hard, that's why I work hard. They call me vintage. Said I've been here for a while. Vintage. Still doing it all hero's journey. That's what they call me, baby. Your man, the Bigg RoBb, Bigg RoBb.
Man, I wish I was in the studio right now. I'd drop 9 bombs on that, man. That was hot.
Thank you,
That was
man.
hot,
Thank you,
man.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Definitely
Thank you.
good craftsmanship right there.
Now, Bigg RoBb, when it came down to creating vintage, did you have help for us writing it or just an inspiration of your own?
Inspiration of my own. I mean, I have a team of musicians who I will never really take credit saying like I'm a musician, but I can hear it all. And I put it all together, you know what I mean? So that song, God gave me that title, Vintage, before I wrote the song. Like I knew that, I'm always trying to come up with a catchy title for my album. So we've had Showtime, we've had Fantastic, all words that we've been hearing throughout our lives. But, I get the phrase or I get the title of the album, then I try to do like all our heroes, Stevie Wonder or the Jacksons or the OJs or whatever. When they had an album back in the day, they would have whatever the album was called. That was like the theme of it. Marvin Gaye, What's Going On, Rick James, Street Songs. And when you put that on, I just believe that an album should represent, the title, the body of the work, the collection. So with that one there, I mean, I've got, like I said, a whole team of musicians who I'm constantly humming stuff to. So my guitar player, he always laughs because he's sitting there actually strumming the guitar. But by the time the session is over with, he said he feel like I done jumped inside of his body and played it because no, move your hand right here. No, hold it right there. Do it right there. You know what I mean? And, or the keyboards and, and then my thing of choice is doing all the beats and stuff. So I do all of those myself, and then I hum the keyboard parts to my keyboard player, or I sit there all night and pick it out, and the bass lines, either I play them or I find somebody who can play them for me.
Now, when you go on the road and you perform your songs, you have your own personal band.
Yes. My band is called The Problem Solvers, and I make records under that moniker too, The Problem Solvers. And yeah, absolutely, man. For many, many years, it was my son on drums. I'm very, very proud of him. His name is R3. And he started out with us, man, when he was like, had a drummer and he flaked. And my son was a little bitty guy, man, 12 years old. And me and his mom had been buying him sets of drums. And he'd been practicing. And I'm sitting there like, oh, man, how am I going to make this gig this weekend? He said, Daddy, I can play. And my back was up against the wall at that point. I said, okay, well, let me see what you got, youngster. And he put on the songs and he could rock with them. You know what I mean? He could do it. So he's my drummer. I don't think on this tour we're going to go out on that he's going to go out with me because he's been on the road with me, man, ever since he was 3 years old. So he wants to go out and, he makes music and, like the surfboard and line. He do all kind of stuff. But yeah, I have my band, and for the most part, yes, absolutely. And we have one of the most entertaining shows, and we will continue to have one of the most entertaining shows in Southern Soul Blues and old school music. But yes, I do have my own band, and I've been blessed, man. I just been blessed. I've been able to play music and be around some of the baddest musicians that ever walked the planet. So once again, I give all the glory to God, and I'm just thankful for all my helpers,
Now, Bigg RoBb, for those who don't know the band that you actually started out with before you stepped out on your own, could you tell them who that was and who was your influence in that band?
Oh, man, the funkiest band in the world, ZAPP. It's spelled Zap. Zap featuring Roger and Zap, Zap and Roger, whatever you want to call it. Y'all know the records. Mobile Sounds, Heard It Through the Grapevine, Do I Did It, Computer Love, Let Me See You Moving on the Dance Floor, Do It, Roger, Do It, I Want to Be Your Man. The list goes on and on. So I got drafted into that and was, Roger Troutman, may he rest in peace. Larry Troutman, may he rest in peace. I started out just as the guy who would go get the coffee and drive the limousine and go to the store and do whatever they said do, pack the truck, unload the truck, run the sound, set up the lights, wash the dirty clothes, whatever it was that we had to do to keep the band rolling is what I did. And throughout that, one day Roger came to me and said, hey, man, you're going to be the MC of the band. And I'm like, huh? Yeah, you're going to go on stage. And I was like, huh? And I said, no, man, I'm happy handing you your guitar. He said, no, that's over with, man. You're gonna do more than hand me the guitar. And so they kind of I'll be honest with you, man. You know, I mean, I couldn't keep it all. I had to keep it all the way 100. Because if they ever get a chance to tell the story, they gonna say the same thing. They forced me into doing it, and I begged not to do it. I was just happy handing Roger his guitar, man, and going around the world with him. I mean, I'd been on the road 5 or 6 years with him, handing him his guitar every night, and carrying him on my shoulders and keeping up with all his stuff. And he had the bright idea that I should be on stage, and he gave me the freedom to learn how to do it in front of the Zap fans, and the Zap fans showed me much love. And so, yeah, I did 25 years, 3 months, and 4 days in that wonderful metropolis that I call Planet Zap. That's not 5 years. That's not 10 years. That's not 15. That's not 20, but that's 25 years. I'm a young buck up till about, man, you know what I mean, maybe a decade ago, or maybe a little bit more than a decade ago. And, you know, so that's where I came from. That's my pedigree. And also I have to give special shouts out to the Collins brothers, because before, you know, you got somebody, you know, you guys watch baseball, you got the major league playing field, then you got the minor leagues, right? And then you got the dugout. And then if a guy gets up to go bat, he's at bat, but then they always have what they call the on-deck circle. And the on-deck circle for me was with the Collins brothers, Bootsy Collins and his brother Catfish Collins. Man, he rest in peace.
Right.
So them guys, they tuned me up, meaning them guys, you know, made sure that once it was time for me to go on the road with Roger, I did know how to, you know, tie my shoes. I wasn't hooked on no drugs and no alcohol. And I knew how to say yes, sir, and no, sir. Not that my parents didn't, but they gave me a musical upbringing out of this world. So, you know, just special shouts to all them guys, man. And for people out there, the funk fans, you remember a group called Bootsy's Rubber Band. Gary Mudbone Cooper, Joel Razor Sharp Johnson, Bootsy, Catfish, Frankie Cash Waddy, all those Tiger Martin, all those people like my uncles. And they raised me up in the game from, you know, 11, 12 years old, being a little hard-headed kid, running around with annihilators in my pockets.
So that was the birth of the greatest entertainer in Southern soul blues music. For
Thank
those
you,
who
man.
don't know. Because if you never saw a Bigg RoBb show, it's very entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, what can I say? When you got Bootsy pounding something in this side of your head with all them rhinestones, and that's really where I get all the rhinestones from. It's really from him. But then Roger Troutman was the consummate entertainer, and he's in the left side of your head, you know, telling you, don't go out there and be born. You better make them scream. I don't care if your nose is bleeding or not. I don't care if you got a headache. Who cares? Get you some Kleenex. You better get back out there, right? So when you got all that, you know, and then coming up from my hometown, Cincinnati, Ohio, I would say this, man, Cincinnati, Ohio, and this place that we live in the Ohio Valley called the land of funk, from in a 50-mile radius, y'all, the Ohio players, special shouts out to Sugarfoot, because Sugarfoot is the one that laced us all up.
That's right.
Sugarfoot the one taught Roger how to play the guitar and how to play the harmonica, and you know, and all those fantastic things. You know, Sugarfoot, it goes back to, you know, him and the great Robert Ward, who was a heck of a blues guitarist, you know, and man, but all those guys. But from this Ohio Valley, man, in the 50-mile radius, you got Zapp and Roger, you got Shirley Murdoch, you've got the Ohio players, Heatwave, Sun, Slave, Lakeside, Platypus, Midnight Star, The Deal, Randy Crawford, Penny Ford, Junie Morrison. Man, I know I'm missing folks. I'm missing somebody. The great Johnny Lytle, who was a jazz vibraphonist, who also used to work at Troutman Enterprise. I used to have to record his vibraphone parts on records for Roger. So that's all in a 50-mile radius, man.
Wow.
And all that goes back to the legendary James Brown, because he recorded at the recording studio in my hometown, in my neighborhood that I grew up in, Evanston, and Walnut Hills, right there in Cincinnati. The record company was called King Records. And, you know, King, everybody that grew up black in our time, you got hot sauce in your house and you got a James Brown 45 or something in there too, right?
Right.
So that little blue label that said King on it, that was right there in our neighborhood. You got me? So with all that, man, I mean, you know, this is just like a musical hotbed. So, you know, you go to McDonald's or go down to the barbecue spot to get a sandwich. There's a million guys who people have never heard of, who never even made a record. They better than all of us.
You know, Bigg RoBb, a lot of people will hear your history and coming from Zapp and Bootsy Collins and want to know, why did you choose Southern Soul Blues instead of keeping it with the funk family?
Great question. I'm funk. I'm funk forever. You got what I'm saying? Much love and respect to the legendary George Clinton, because he is the epitome, Dr. Funkenstein. But I still am a funk guy. I met a gentleman by the name of Mel Waiters, who was from San Antonio, Texas. He was opening up the show for Zapp one night, and we became good friends. And I asked him, hey, man, you know, what do you think about if we, you know, you let me do a little remix or something to your song, right? Then he just come out with a record called Let's Go Baby to the Hole in the Wall. Yeah. Everybody knows that record. 3 o'clock in the morning, all the damn clubs is closed. Let's go, baby, to the hole in the wall. So he took me to the record company that he was with, Malaco Records, Mr. Tommy Couch Jr., and they let me go in the studio for 3 or 4 days. And I went in there, and I came out with this thing called the Hole in the Wall remix, right? And that was me merging the funk with the blues, and it was very, very successful. So that's kind of how I was born. And then once I started seeing that, you know, funk music on the radio in the early 2000s wasn't necessarily, you know, smashing nobody. I mean, G-Funk was great, but then, you know, all my funk heroes wasn't necessarily getting no hit records like that. And so I just started listening, and then I realized, man, Mama used to have this little yellow 45 called Who's Making Love by Johnny Taylor. Right? And then I heard this little green 45 that on a Saturday night, my daddy would sit around and he would just make, y'all remember turntables? I might be too old for y'all now because I'm vintage. But the turntable used to have a thing on it called Reject.
Yeah.
Right? So that means the record would go back, you stack 4 or 5 records on there, and when it got to one, it would get to the end and the thing would go clink and the next record would jump down. Well, my daddy loved this 145 on this little green and blue label so much that he went to the record store and bought about 5 copies of it. Because that's how it wasn't no loop play back then like we got now. You know, you just press a button on the playlist and it just play over and over. So he went and bought 5 copies of the same 45. And all night long on a Saturday night, he would sit there and drink a little brown liquor out of a glass and talk to his buddies, and they would laugh and joke. And they would listen to this one song over and over and over. And that song was by a gentleman by the name of Mr. Benny Lattimore. And the song was called Let's Straighten It Out on the Glades label, like 1973 or whenever it was. So I'm Southern Soul. I'm raised, it's all in my DNA. I was raised on Johnny Taylor, raised on Lattimore, raised on O.V. Wright, raised on Al Green, raised on Denise LaSalle, Millie Jackson. Y'all remember Millie Jackson?
Of course.
She was cussing on records when you couldn't cuss on records. Now these kids, these kids nowadays say stuff that make what Millie say sound like she reading from a prayer book. But once upon a time, you know, she was, hey man, you had to, you know, Millie Jackson and Dolomite. Oh my goodness, you had to go. You know, as a little kid, we'd sneak when the parents wasn't home. We'd go sneak and learn them jokes and stuff. But so that's how I got into the soul of it, and I found out that it's all just good music, and the African American community, what we want is just good stuff. You dig? You know, we just want good stuff. We want Kool-Aid. We don't want Kool-Aid with 1 cup of sugar in it because we want it to be sweet. We want Kool-Aid with 2 or 3 cups of sugar in it, right? And that might be why so many folks is, you know, down there with type 2 diabetes now. But that, you know what I'm saying? Well, that Kool-Aid sure was good with all that sugar in it, man. Lord,
yes, sir.
Don't let your grandkids do that now. But they got worse problems now.
Hey, Bigg RoBb, since the day is Cinco de Mayo, right?
Yes, man.
And happy hour ain't over until 8 o'clock.
We say it's over with.
Yeah, basically until we say it's over with.
Yes.
You got a song called Happy Hour.
Yes, man. It's the new, and it's my fault, y'all. The video will be up on YouTube by Tuesday when this whole album is called Vintage. 19 songs strong. Vintage is on there. Happy Hour's on there, and there's 17 Mo Bad Mo Skagas on there too. But yes, the song Happy Hour is the actual first single that we go on the radio, and it's just a fun party song. And let me say this, I don't really do all that drinking. I think I sing more about doing drinking than I do drinking.
I'll tell you what.
Y'all can look in my eyes. I'm completely sober right now. I'm on my way to the Cincinnati Reds baseball game, but I pulled over so we can do this interview.
I'm gonna tell you right now. For a long time, if I get drunk tonight, was my anthem.
Going down to the club.
That's it.
A real good time and party all night long. Give me some juice, y'all, and some Tanqueray, and pretty soon it will be on. Yes, sir. Man, I had so much fun writing that song. And Happy Hour, when I was writing it, I came up with the music because I wanted to have something that I think the young folks could vibe to too. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
Special shouts out to my nephews, King George, who's very, very popular now. He got a big record out, several big records. Too Long, Keep on Rolling. This train gonna keep on rolling. One Monkey Don't Stop No Show. Pokey Bear, J1, and of course Calvin Richardson Tucker and them, because they are ushering in and helping take this Southern soul genre of music to a new level, right?
Right.
So I don't want to be in there making no records sound like I made some records back in 1968. I got to keep that. I got to keep that bump and that knock in my stuff too.
But Rob, you said you vintage, but you said you vintage now. Come on.
Hey man, listen. You know what? My first album was called Grown Folks Music, and I thought that all the people that was my age was gonna be like, yeah, I'm grown. And then I started saying, as we get older, we want to be younger.
Mm-hmm.
It's the craziest thing in the world, right? When we was younger, we wanted to be older, right?
Mm-hmm.
How old are you? You ain't 40. I'm 21. I was only 14 sneaking in the club, right?
Right.
Now I'm 55, but I feel like I'm 25. And as a matter of fact, I got a song on the album called Girl, You Make Me Feel Like I'm 25 again.
Absolutely.
So, but I'm sorry, man. I got excited because it is happy hour.
It is happy hour.
Happy hour. Happy hour somewhere.
Yes, sir. Every day.
Every day there's a happy hour.
And let me say this, man, and just to wake up, breathe in and breathe out. That's happy hour. All jokes aside, like the song is about partying and having a good time, but every day is happy. Every day that the Creator gives you another opportunity to see your loved ones and fellowship and break bread and to get something right that you might have done wrong before. That's happy hour right there, baby.
That's it. But ladies and gentlemen, right now, matter of fact, the song broke today, right? Came out today.
Another shot of tequila, another shot of gin, another shot of Cuervo. We about to get it in. Real to real, drop that beat, man, so they
Drop
can see
that,
what I'm
man.
talking about.
Drop that, K.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your man, the Bigg RoBb, Bigg RoBb. Now, when this song comes on, you know it's happy hour, baby. Another shot of Hennessy, another shot of gin, another shot of tequila. We's about to go in. Another round of margaritas. If you like that fancy shit. The growing sexy, shipping on vodka. And we about to get lit. Cause it's happy hour. Happy hour. Happy hour. Happy hour. Another shot of Crown, y'all, and an ice cold beer. Another bit of Moscato for my ladies getting tipsy in here. I got old school Jack Daniels, Grey Goose, Santon Bean. Special shout out to all the designated drivers Taking one for the team. Everybody's on that brown and white, having a real good time. All my cowboys and cowgirls getting full of that moonshine. Cause it's happy hour. Happy baby. Happy hour. Happy to you. Happy hour. Happy baby. Somewhere right now, baby. It's happy hour. You feel me? Come on. Party all night. We gonna party all night. Hey, hey, hey. Party all night. We gonna party all night. Hey, hey, hey. Party all night. We gonna party all night. Hey, hey, hey. Party all night. We gonna party all night. Hey, hey. Happy, happy, baby. Now this one right here is dedicated to everybody out there. Please don't drink and drive, baby. Get you a designated driver, cause I need to see you at the next Bigg RoBb show.
Man, that was Happy Hour by the Bigg RoBb, Bigg RoBb.
What you think, fellas? What you think?
Man, hold on. It's Happy Hour.
I'm happy.
Man. Bruce Wayne said he at home starting his happy hour, and I seen somebody on there said they hear some auto-tune, but they hear some funk. And I just want to say this, man, thank God for auto-tune, you know what I mean? Because auto-tune makes it possible that I can have a road crew rather than being the road crew for somebody else, you feel me?
No doubt.
Yeah. I love auto-tune, you know, not so much. I don't know. I guess I sing with it. I've been using it for such a long time that it's kind of a combination of what I do, you know what I mean? But I can sing, you know, another shot of tequila or some ice cold gin. You got what I'm saying? I mean, I can do it. I like the effect of it.
Yeah,
Rob, you know what? I wanted to touch base with you because the last time we had you on the show, you spoke highly about a lot of the artists that you work with. And one I wanted to bring back particular because you gave such joy talking about this person. So I wanted to go and touch back with that, with you and your relationship with the one and only, the beautiful soulstress voice of Miss Shirley Murdoch.
Oh man, that's Big Sis forever.
There you go.
You know, yeah, that's Big Sis. You know, we met at Troutman Enterprise, you know, which was the parent company of the Zap band and of Shirley Murdoch, you know. And man, I can remember I remember when Roger started working, when Roger and Zap and Billy Beck and those guys started working on Shirley's album, even before she was signed, they was just in the demo process. And Roger's little brother's name is Zap Troutman. We're very, very close, and he's also a member of the group. And his real name is Terry. He's the guy that the group Zap was named after, right? And you go see the show now. He's, you know, the leader playing the voice box and all that stuff, along with my partner Real2reel360. But he, I can remember stopping by the studio one time. I was young, 15 years old, and he's like, "Man, listen to this. We just found this girl in Toledo. What you think?" And that's the first time I ever heard that electrifying voice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and to know her, man, I mean, that's Big Sis. Like, you know, that's my kid's godmama. That's, you know, she's also an evangelist. She's just fantastic. I was, like I told you, I've been locked in, all I did, man, is come out, eat dinner. Special shout out to Community Coffee, because I probably went through 25 pounds of coffee. That coffee pot stayed on 24 hours a day. But once I finally came out of this cocoon for 2.5 months of making this record, I said, man, I ain't talked to Shirley, you know what I mean? And just because she's going in one direction, I'm going another direction. And I called her, and she said, Next time you go to the grocery store, they got something down there called pink pineapples. Man, the next day I stopped what I was doing, went to the grocery store and bought my sister 2 pink pineapples. I had never heard nothing like that before, but it's real. They got pineapples that they when you cut them open, they pink inside, and the kids love them, and she love them, and everybody say they so sweet. But yeah, that's, hey man, that's Big Sis. She's you ain't gonna meet you will not meet a better sister walking the planet Earth than Shirley Murdoch, baby.
Yeah, I love that song you had with her on your last album, man. That was
which well, we've done 2 or 3 or 4. Which one? Which song?
It was the last one where you were saying you call a Big Sis. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Was it Don't Let the Rain Steal Don't Let the Rain Steal Your Sunshine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. I really hope that record gets revisited one day. We have one called Mama's Song that they gonna start playing probably this weekend. That's just like a Mother's Day anthem. Mm-hmm. And then we got several. I did a gospel album. She's on there, and I've gotten on her records and all that stuff. And another thing was, at the height of her popularity, during the As We Lay days, and the husband. Actually, I was an engineer on the record, Husband. Mm-hmm. So I was, in there helping Roger turn those knobs and cutting tape and learning how to make records when that, putting that record together. But one thing I would say is at the height of her popularity, she never changed. She's always been truly a wholesome sweetheart, the person that's going to pray for you. And me, I do a lot of cussing and fussing, and I have been known to raise a little hell from time to time. And she's the one that always can come back and, just get me evenly grounded and just say, hey, little brother, I expect more out of you. And when her records was #1, she gave to cats such as myself. She had her band on the road. I was Shirley's light man. You dig what I'm saying? Like I was, I was out there learning how to run, not running the lights, but learning how to run the lights, getting paid on the job training. So that's the kind of sister she is. She'll say, hey, okay, I know, baby, I know you didn't get it right tonight, but I'm going to stick, here go your paycheck, but I'm going to expect you to do a little bit better tomorrow.
Now, Big Rob, you've been in the industry for a while, and you've worked with some of the greats. It still amazes you when you go into places that are vintage like Malaco and record?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I haven't been to Malaco to record in many, many years, but I can tell you when I did go to record on the day that I was years ago when I went to go make that Hole in the Wall remix.
Yes, sir.
Within 6 hours, there was a gentleman by the name Frederick Knight who came. If you're not familiar with him, he had many big hit records. I've Been Lonely for So Long, and so many big hit records. Heck of a songwriter, heck of a producer. And one of the biggest records he ever did was he wrote and discovered a lady named Anita Ward, and her big record was You Can Ring My Bell. Everybody knows that song, right?
Yes, sir.
Then I looked up when I went to go get some coffee. There was a young man sitting there, and he was clean as all get out, man. He had some Flossin boots on, and his hair was meticulous, and he had that good real, you can tell the fake jewelry from the real stuff. He had that good jewelry, right? The kind that's still glow in the dark. Some of these guys, they wear that jewelry, you got to cut the lights on. And his name was Little Milton. And I'm like, wow, man, he's been going on for some time. But yes, just meeting and, just seeing, being able to touch the same microphone that Bobby Blue Bland touched, being able to sit in the same room that Johnny Taylor sit there, having the same engineer that worked on Down Home Blues and Cheating in the Next Room and all those fantastic records, being in the same place where they cut Mr. Big Stuff. And hey there, sugar dumpling, let me tell you something. Special shout out to the legendary Wolf Stevenson, who taught me a lot about engineering and making records. And Wolf Stevenson is like the engineer of all engineers. He's the one mixed all them records I mentioned, So yeah, but man, I'm still stunned. But I'm stunned that you guys, just being a kid from the projects of Cincinnati, the fact that you guys found out about me and found out about my music. I'm just completely humbled, you know what I'm saying, and just thankful. All the glory goes to God, man. I'm just thankful, man. It's to have a career, I
gotta give it to my brother, man. Let me tell you something. We sit back every now and then, man. We start talking about how we gonna do our shows or who we looking to get and so forth and so on. And like I said, the first time before we even mentioned, he said, "Yo, we got to get Bigg RoBb, Bigg RoBb. I said, yes, I remember seeing Bigg RoBb perform out in Farmdale, Virginia, one long time ago. And then he was like, yeah. He said, but then he calls me. He always messages with me. Who's the baddest? Who's the baddest? And I got, you the baddest. And we got Bigg RoBb again. What? Big bro coming back on. I said, what? He said, yeah, we got him. So it's an honor for us, man. We fan out, but we don't let everybody else know we fanning out. Because we gotta maintain the status of interview.
Hey, man. Well, I can tell you, and I did have a fan out moment on this album, because on this album I got a song called "Get My Groove On," and my big brother blessed me with his appearance. His name is Charlie Wilson.
Okay.
And Uncle Charlie, the legendary Charlie Wilson. Yes, I mean, he needs no introduction, right?
Right.
So to be able to, call in those favors and to be able to have fantastic folks like that, man, who, man, I get it. I met Tito Jackson, and I'm the biggest Jackson 5 fan in the world. And, to be able to, pick up the phone. I have a radio show. It's on in Las Vegas on Saturday mornings, a radio station, Power 88. So it'll be on in the morning. I got to go pre-record it tonight in a few minutes. Well, when I get back, I got to go pre-record it and turn it in. I'll also own in Montgomery, Alabama, and Dothan, Alabama. And special shout out to Alabama. We're going to be in Alabama next Friday night, Dothan, Alabama, for the big record release party for Vintage. It's part of this big event that some friends of mine are throwing called the Tri-State Music Festival. So on Friday night, I'm there, and I'm going to go to the Hole in the Wall Juke Joint, and y'all come on by us to Elks Lodge in Dothan, and then on Saturday, they're going to be on the big stage with Genuine and King George and all these wonderful folks, right? Mm-hmm. And I have a radio show. I was laying in the bed, man, in Austin, Texas, probably about 7-8 months ago, and my phone rang because I pre-recorded the show that weekend.
Right.
And this guy said, hey, man, ain't you at the radio station? I'm like, no, I'm sleeping. And I looked at my phone, and it said Papa T on there. And I'm like, Tito, what you doing? What you got? Hey, man, I'm stunned, right? Tito Jackson is up at 6:30 in the morning listening to my radio show in Las Vegas. So I fan out too, man. Because like I said, I'm the biggest Jackson 5 fan there is, bro.
Yeah. Hey, Bigg RoBb, I don't know if you recall how we honestly got in contact. But I never forget it, because I stumbled across some of your contact information. And if anybody know, Bigg RoBb has the office hour like Big Red on 5 Heartbeats.
But... No, man, no, I don't. My office hours are not 9 to 5. Hey, man, you know what? I want to say thank you to all my fans, because my fans keep me humble. Because, I put my phone number on the back of the CD, and I shout it out, and it's on the back of the T-shirts and everything.
Right.
And, man, I can't tell you how many times this phone rings at 1 o'clock in the morning. And it's some brothers and some sisters, and they sitting there, and they feeling real good, listening to some Bigg RoBb blues songs. And they're like, Bigg RoBb, that family reunion song, man. Hey, man, and I just say thank you, because once again, I prayed for this. I was in the project. I watched my mama take her gold jewelry off her hands and go to the pawn shop. And the jewelry might have been worth $500. Sometimes the man would give her $10. Sometimes he would give her $15. It was always how he felt at the time.
Right.
And whether she got $10 or $15, then she would give me most of that money so I could go buy a little record or something that I was trying to go get. She would get a little food, and we would survive till the next Social Security check came, or the next food stamps. It's hard out here, man. The hardest time in our community is about them last 3 or 4 days of the month. You got what I'm saying? And, some cities, where I was from, they only gave out food stamps once a month. Like some places, you give them out twice, right?
Right.
And we didn't have the EBT card. And so mama and them just trying to make it. And I go back to the times of when you go next door, because Miss Mary got some macaroni and y'all still got a half a block of cheese. And they get together and they whip up something, man, and they do what they call feed them babies. Right. And most of the black mothers, they do more cooking than they do eating. You got what I'm saying? So I'm just humbled, man, to have a career be a little fat kid, man, from the projects who love music and just want to do this and have fans and have people who will come out and support my shows, man. I'm humbled, and I just want to say all the glory goes to God and thank you.
Yes, sir.
I just can't say thank you enough, man.
But Bigg RoBb, when I called that time and I got you,
yes,
it was 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
You was on that cup, wasn't it? That Gatorade was flowing.
The Gatorade was flowing, but I was taking care of business.
His Gatorade was flowing because I don't drink that late.
Yeah. My Gatorade was flowing. But when I realized it was
whatever
you,
time I start drinking, that's the time the clock just stopped at. So if I start at 7:51, my clock ain't gonna speed back up to the mind. It's gonna be 7:51 all night. But go ahead. So your Gatorade was flowing. Okay,
was flowing, and I couldn't believe at that moment I was actually speaking with you, because at that time it was shocking for me to be able to speak with you, Omar, Sir Charles, some of the icons of the game today. And I actually had a direct contact where I could hear and speak with you. And you told me, you said, brother, call me tomorrow. We're going to set up that interview for you. The next day I called and you knew exactly what I was talking about. You was like, yo, let's do it. And
you was on the Gatorade. I wasn't on the Gatorade.
He was on that Gatorade.
I was on coffee, lemon heads. Hey, man. Special shout out to Boston Baked Beans. Y'all know what that is, right?
Yeah.
I was coming out of band rehearsal last year, stopped at a little store, said, damn, they got Boston Baked Beans. So I bought 2 boxes. Man, now I got to go get my teeth fixed, man. I done bitten in one of them things, man. Because, you get vintage. Your teeth ain't as hard as they used. Ain't nothing. That's going to be the next Bigg RoBb song. Ain't nothing as hard as it used to be. Not my teeth, not my head, Man, but okay, I got you. So yeah, but that's what that's what I do, man. And first of all, like I said, I started out as a DJ. So I know what it feels like to ask people for an interview. And I also know what it feels like for artists to act like jerks.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? Ain't nothing worse than some arrogant, egotistical ass artist who just thinks they just so much more important. You got what I'm saying? And this is like, I make chitlin circuit music and juke joint music, and we got to make this thing grow. And my concept of making it grow is we don't have the big budget. Warner Brothers and CBS and Universal have them come down and say, hey, man, let me sign you up, Bigg RoBb. We sell a lot of records and we got a lot of fans, but they don't see necessarily any value in it yet, right?
Right.
So I'm selling my music. I'll let y'all in on the secret. Y'all know how I'm selling my music?
Huh.
The same way Grandmama and them sold Tupperware and Avon. You never seen no TV commercial about that either, but everybody got some Tupperware in their house. Everybody know what Avon is, right?
Right.
Cool, baby.
You ain't never really seen, and here lately you have, but growing up, we never seen no hot sauce commercial.
No.
Right? No. We never saw that, but everybody got hot sauce.
Yeah.
Right? And how all that is sold is by word of mouth, man. By making a great product that people feel that they want to tell somebody about. So that's what my challenge is every day. When I went in there to make vintage, I was like, man, I got to make a no-skip album. I got to make an album that when you put it on and pay your $9.99 on iTunes, this thing got to play by. It's got to play, and and we spared no expense. Everybody that worked on the project will tell you I ran that specific person crazy, even with these videos. The video guy ain't answering my phone calls now because I'm like, hey man, you could have showed that tire spinning just a little bit longer. I know my coat is red, but hey man, was the light on me right? Because I just want to give the best. Because folks out there, man, they getting bad reports from the doctors, fellas. They getting bad reports from their kids. They getting bad reports. Damn, rent is going up. You know what I mean? You can't find a decent ceiling fan to have work. We got the AI going on, so somebody gonna take this interview and next week they have me singing songs I ain't never sung before. You got all this going on, and time is very, very precious and short. So when people put on a Bigg RoBb record, I want them to have the same experience that I had when I put on Diana Ross Presents the Jackson 5 or Stevie Wonder Hotter Than July or No Parking on Dance Floor, right? Or if I put on, there's a new young man who I love, Snoop Dogg and them, done discovered this young man, October London. Have y'all heard him?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Sounded like Marvin Gaye. Yeah, oh yeah. Can't miss.
Yeah, man. You know, when I heard him, I said, well, I ain't never heard that Marvin Gaye song before, but it sure sounds good, right? You know, and in one way, it's kind of interesting because you got a guy who's pretty much, you know, sounding like and doing. He's intentionally doing it like Marvin did it, right?
Right.
But they did such a fantastic job. You got to take your hats off and give them credit. Like that shit is fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, my little nephew, Mr. Talk, he just did a remake of Computer Love. And, you know, to go in there, man, and remake one of Roger's songs the right way, that boy can play that voice box thing. You know what I mean? It's good. Right. You know, it's good. So yeah, man, but that's when I'm giving my heart and soul, so because people don't have to listen to Bigg RoBb. There's many people they could listen to. And so I'm just trying to make sure that when you buy vintage, you buy a Bigg RoBb album, you're going to have more than enough music. You'll get tired of listening to me before you run out of good shit to listen
to. we got a question for you, Rob.
Go ahead.
Stacy in the audience wants to know, how does...
Hold on 1 second. This is my wife. I'm doing an interview, honey.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. I'll call you right back. Okay, go ahead.
The question from Stacy in our audience wants to know is, how does the attitude of today's industry compare to then?
Which part of it? Is it the... I think, well, I wonder which part do they mean? Do they mean as far as the music making part, or the artist part, or the business side of it?
I would say,
go ahead, John. Go ahead.
I would think more so of the business side, because of the making of the music is still similar to where it used to be. So the creativity is still similar, but the business part has changed, going from cassettes, 8-track, and she said loyalty to the artist, things of that nature.
I think that for me, let me say this, I'm blessed because the type of music I make is not the cookie cutter. I seen Frankie Beverly say this maybe 8 or 9 years ago. They gave him an award, right? And I think it was the first time they even like recognized him, you know, like that, which is crazy. But, you know, they gave him an award, and he said, hey, man, don't get caught up in the cookie cutter flavor of the month thing. Do you, be true to you, right? And I'll just use him as an example for a second. Like, you guys are old enough to remember when Frankie Beverly first came out, say like, you know, the Golden Time Day, Happy Feelings, and all those songs, right?
Sir, yes, sir.
You know, right. So those songs were like instant classics. But when Frankie Beverly came out, also during that time period in the mid 70s and the later 70s, hey man, you know, the hottest groups at that time was still the Commodores, the Jacksons, Parliament Funkadelic, Rick James. Then Prince came on top of that, right?
Yep.
So Frankie kind of had to wait his turn, right? He had to wait his turn, but as he waited his turn, he always maintained consistently great music. He let his formula speak for him. Him and Brother Bug and Brother Rome and Robin Dewey and all them guys. When you put on a Frankie Beverly record, Frankie Beverly, you know, when Michael Jackson was Billie Jean, Frankie Beverly didn't change up.
No, sir.
You know, he didn't start trying to do the moonwalk, right? You know what I mean? When Prince cut the ass out his pants, Frankie Beverly just kept that ball cap to the side, right? Matter of fact, Frankie Beverly's so true to it, you know, even if you go see him now, I just don't think even right now he uses a cordless mic. He still got that microphone with the cord on the bottom of it, right?
Absolutely.
When you stay true like that to your fans, you don't have to worry about the loyalty because your fans feel you.
Right.
Your fans feel you. So I would love to have a record that sells a gazillion. Matter of fact, I did write a song. We got 120 million views on it. It's called Hell No to the No. We didn't know that record was going to get 120 million views. It was going to go viral, and it was going to be as big as it was, right?
Let me tell you, that was a fantastic song, too.
Right, and you know what I mean? And how I got kind of thrown in the mix of is the man took my music and put his words over top of the music and married them both together. You know what I mean? And then we kind of became friends because me and him never even actually went in the studio to do that. He sampled me, right? But nevertheless, you know, it's you know what I mean? So it's a great combination. We don't know what it is, but the reason why people loved Hell to the No, I think it's because it was real. So I think that long as we stay real, my fans is gonna be there for me. If I start trying to make records to compete completely with Bruno Mars or make records that try to compete, well, I can't use Bruno Mars because Bruno Mars, really, he's throwing back. He's getting the old school flavor that we do, right? That we come up on.
That's right.
You know. So, but you know what I'm saying? If I just decide, okay, man, now I'm trying to be whoever the latest rapper is, right? The Baby or one of those guys, then I'm going to alienate my fan base. Right? So I'm looking more like, James Brown, no matter what, there was a time when James Brown was in style, and then there was a time that James Brown, nobody quite listening to James Brown like that, right? But then hip hop comes and they take every damn James Brown beat off every James Brown record, and it's the foundation of hip hop.
That's right.
There was a time when Roger's music was killing people, and you couldn't go nowhere. That's all you hear everywhere. Everybody's slinging Jerry Curl juice. Then New Jack Swing came in because styles changed, right?
Yeah.
New Jack Swing came in, and I can remember sitting in the studio with Rod, and he's like, man, I got to come up with something that, that's competing with that. And he would try and try and try, but no matter what, he just always kind of stayed true to his roots. And when you stay true to your roots, you look around 2 or 3 years later after New Jack Swing, here come Ice Cube, and well, even in the middle there, here come EPMD, and here come Tupac, here come Biggie, here come everybody taking his old beats, putting Snoop in them, putting new stuff to it, right?
Yep.
So so I think that staying loyal to my fans, something the great Mel Waiters taught me. You taught me this, man, from work when I went to go make that Hole in the Wall record, right? He said, hey man, you got to know who you cutting for. You got to know who you're making these records for. So when I'm singing vintage, I'm thinking about you, guys. You got what I'm saying? I'm thinking about the brother with the gray in his beard. I'm thinking about a grown man who just got a call from his daughter whose boyfriend's supposed to be the man, and she over there loving him like he a man. They acting like they grown, but he got to help him with the rent. Right? I'm thinking about the brother. I'm thinking about the sister who has got to go down and pick her grandbabies up, because she got to be mama and grandma. Grandmamas is mamas now. We vintage, right? No such thing as getting old. We just gonna be here till we get up out of here, because we're not gonna get a chance to go lay up because the world is a different place now. So I'm thinking, how can I cut records? I work hard so I can play hard. I'm thinking about the brothers who work 40 hours a week or 60 hours a week, and then they stop by on this time of evening, go get them a bottle, go home, get cleaned up, they go sit on their back porch or go sit on their deck. Everybody ain't going to the club like they used to go to the club, especially after COVID. Folks is making the club at their house. You dig what I'm saying? Folks they got deep fryers, and they got decks, and they got lights on their deck, and they got Bluetooth speakers. So I got to make records that represent for my people. So long as I stay loyal to my people, I will forever. And somebody just came and said something about Terry Dexter. I'm a great fan of Terry Dexter. I love Terry Dexter. Wasn't Terry Dexter in Vogue?
I'll put it back up.
Yes, please. I bought a Terry Dexter album. It's the one where it's kind of like years ago when I think it was our very first album. And I thought Terry Dexter was in Vogue as well. And I wish she'd do funk, because she sounds like it. Oh yeah. Well, they coming up out that Bay. Everybody in the Bay they got that Ohio funk. The Bay. I got a buddy of mine lives in the Bay, and the question is, who started funk? Was it James Brown or Sly Stone? And I always say James Brown. He always say Sly Stone. So, but Sly Stone then was coming up out of the Bay. So, Larry Graham, that's funk.
Right.
Sheila E., that's funk. Right. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hey, Bigg RoBb, we done came to the end of the show, but I want individuals to know where they can get the vintage, where they can see the Bigg RoBb, and just get that experience about, the grown and sexy, the vintage.
Well, the album comes out Tuesday night. I think it comes out Tuesday night, so it's everywhere where all good music is sold. And you can go up there and download. There's plenty. This is my 31st album in 23 years, guys. Since since 1999, this is my 31st album that I've done. Praise God.
Man.
And so you can go up there, and between now and over the weekend, you can go get Showtime, or the one that came out last year was called Fantastic. But it'll be everywhere where good music is sold. And we're on our way to East St. Louis, Illinois, which is right over by St. Louis. We're on our way to Texarkana, Arkansas, Chicago, Illinois. We're on our way to Alabama. Oh man, Texas. I'm having the Bigg RoBb birthday party. We're on our way to Louisiana. We up and they got a schedule for me, fellas. By the time y'all see me next year, hopefully I'll be 60 pounds lighter. Cause now that I'm done with the album, Monday morning I have to report to the rehearsal hall. They already had me in there, sized me up for costumes, and man, y'all got to see this happy hour video. Y'all got to see this costume that I designed. I designed this costume. It's got lights all in it. Lights in the hat, lights in the vest, lights in the pants, and it's canary yellow.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness, man. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, but they come on out to the Bigg RoBb show. I promise you're gonna get your money's worth because I don't, you know what I mean, we work hard so we can play hard, and you guys work hard so you can come out and enjoy yourself. And so when you come see a Bigg RoBb show, I can't just be standing there. If I got some sneakers on, they better have some rhinestones on it. And if I got a t-shirt on it better have my picture on it or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, the forefathers of funk, soul, man, can't you hear Little Richard and Liberace and Elvis Presley and Roger and them? They be haunting me, man, if I just go up there looking like a bum, huh?
But also, too, Bigg RoBb, we want to thank you for coming back. And this shows that at any given time, any artist that comes on is a family. To Real2reel360, we salute, and we have a lot of respect for the music that you make, and we love bumping it. Like I tell you, you know my favorite song, and I'm not gonna keep talking about it, but
no, tell them one more time, man. Go ahead, tell them one more time.
If I Get Drunk Tonight.
You know we got a video for that too, right?
I know, I seen that.
Yes, sir.
I should have been in that video.
Hey man, well look here, I gotta go shoot 6 more, man. Special shout out, like I said, to my nephew, Uwe Collins. Speaking of that, now let me just give my nephew a shout out. My nephew's name is Uwe Collins. Uwe Collins is Bootsy Collins' son. Okay, he's been around me ever since he was 6 years old, because I'm extended family, right?
Right.
So he helps me put these videos and stuff together too. As a matter of fact, he's been in the last 4 days. He's the one that put the finishing touches on Happy Hour on the video, and I can't wait for y'all to see this. So I did it in Austin, Texas, and Cincinnati, Ohio, my hometown, because I had to get some of my people that I grew up with, them guys who I used to drink Wild Eyes Rose with and steal cars with. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Oh man, did I just tell on myself? The new album is called Vintage. No, man, y'all know I'm an entertainer, man. You know what I mean? So I got to make you guys laugh. The craziest thing is I've been sitting here in this parking lot at this gas station, and all kind of people just keep driving by and they looking at me like, "Who is that over there?" And if they come over here, I'm gonna sell them one of these happy hour pictures right now.
There you go. There you go.
The new album comes out Tuesday. Thank you, Real2reel. Thank you, fellas, for keeping the platform so independent artists such as myself. And did I answer all the people's questions, man?
Yes, sir. You did.
Right on. Yes, well, God bless y'all. Y'all be good. Enjoy yourselves this weekend, man. Say a prayer for me. I need a hit record because y'all heard my baby call.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And she called and she already texted me and told me to bring the dog some dog food. Stop by the chicken spot and make sure that the wings ain't burnt this time. And I got a whole big long text. You feel me? So I guess I'm not gonna make it to the baseball game tonight. I guess I'm gonna have to go do what my baby say, cause if I get put out, y'all ain't gonna let me come live with y'all, cause y'all's deep freeze ain't deep enough.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, Rob, man, Bigg RoBb, it is a pleasure and an honor. And like we say, man, you're more than welcome to come back anytime, any given Sunday, my brother. Anytime.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, the next time I come back, I'm gonna bring some. I got 3 new artists I'm producing. We're gonna unveil in the next 45 days. Okay. And so I'll be bringing them back. And I also got to give my special shout out to my 3 wonderful children who stay in my pocket some kind of way, and either that or they don't be in my pocket and they be trying to prove to me that they don't need my help. And that's how you know you vintage, when you got kids that say, I ain't gonna ask daddy for it. Okay, well that's good. And daddy ain't mad. Don't ask me to come fill up your deep freeze. It's all good. It's all good, man. I got jokes. It's Cinco de Mayo, fellas. I'm going to go do what my wife say do before I get put out the house.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
God bless y'all. The new album is called Vintage. If y'all get a chance, play that video for them over and over. Go on YouTube and just tell somebody about it. And don't forget about me when y'all sitting around eating chicken or catfish or healthy sushi wraps or veggie meals or whatever. Play some Bigg RoBb.
Play some Bigg RoBb. Thank you. Big bro, you know what time it is.
Yes.
Well,
What you say? What the
what
lady say?
part
What
of
part of
Texas and the
Texas?
date for your Texas show?
Oh, okay. My birthday party was going to be the Bigg RoBb birthday party is going to be in Austin, Texas this year. Friday night, July the 14th. Friday night, July 14th. We buying out the club. Y'all can come out. Well, I mean, when I say we got the club, they selling tickets for it right now. But Friday night, July 14th, Austin, Texas is a wonderful place down there. It's a historic place called Antone's. Antone's. It's a blues club. But we're going to turn that mother out and we're going to put some disco lights in there and I'm going to play Planet Rock and shake my big old belly. And oh my goodness, man. And you know what I mean? I might even recite some old LL Cool J lyrics or something. Who knows, man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So come on, Miss Sheila. What part of Texas is she in?
Waco.
Oh man, I played Waco. I played outside last year. Well, Waco is not too far from Austin. Go
No,
on
it's
and
not.
make it a Bigg RoBb weekend, Miss Sheila. Come on down and bring 6 of your friends with you. And if y'all got them lashes popping and that makeup on just right, you might have to come on stage and sit in the chair for the fat man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ooh.
Oh,
All right,
man.
fellas. God bless y'all, man. Y'all be good to yourself. Don't forget to take your blood pressure medicine. And either you guys over 50. Have you had your prostates checked, gentlemen?
Always. I'm already 3 times in the game.
There you go. And you know, and for the black men out there, I'm specifically talking to the black men out there, fellas. It's not as bad as you think it is. Yes, it is uncomfortable. But let me tell you what's even more uncomfortable. When you land in that casket and your family got to go on without you because something that was preventable wasn't prevented. So make the decision. Be quick, fast. Go on over there and get checked out. I've been, I think, 2 or 3 times, and you know, I mean, they mess around and find them polyps, and the polyps are small enough they can get them out of there. But if they, you know, well, that's for the colon, and you know, I mean, but the polyps get real big, they can turn cancerous, right?
That's right.
And that can be a horrible situation that can be prevented. And as far as the prostate, going back to all that stuff that we grew up eating, you know what I mean, and all that stuff that we've been eating and exposed to all our lives. Men who look like me and the rest of these gentlemen on the panel are more predisposed to have an issue.
Yep.
The sooner they catch on that you got an issue, the sooner they can help you. And there's a lot of stuff out here that can help you. And another one is that I had to fight with this here is taking your blood pressure medicine. My doctor stays on me all the time about that. You got what I'm saying? Take your blood pressure medicine. He said, Rob, your blood pressure is a little bit too high. I'm like, yeah, man, but you know, I took the pill and man, you know, I went to go make love to mama and you know, it was okay, man. But you know, I wasn't feeling like I was 25. I was hitting it like I was 47. He said, well, Rob, if you don't take the medicine and you leave it on the counter, your counter is going to have the lowest blood pressure in the world and you're going to be dead. I was like, oh boy. He said, the medicine can't help you if you don't take it, right? So don't, you know what I mean? Like I said, that's, and you know, and then I found I got some new medicine and I'm back to 24 again. You know, that's why she calling, really, if y'all really want to know why she calling. She really calling, she want to know where I'm at. You know, because the fat man be, you know, he be doing what he's supposed to be doing. But all jokes aside, we gotta, our health is our wealth. And I have a lot of friends. I'm not rich, but I done met some guys out here who done made a whole lot of money. And I asked one of them who's about 80 years old, tell me one thing, and I'm gonna end on this. He said, don't lose your health chasing money, because eventually you will catch up to the money, Rob. But if you lose your health, you're gonna have to spend all the money that you made trying. He said, keyword is trying to get your health back, and you may not be able to get it back. Right? You may not be able to get it back. So during the making this record, God gave me this vision. The only thing that matters in this world is peace, love, and good health. The rest of it is going to come and go. But if you ain't got no good health, you ain't going to have no peace, and you ain't going to be able to enjoy all that love is meant to be. Bigg RoBb, Bigg RoBb. I love y'all.
Love you too,
bro. Hey, true words, man. True words. You know what I'm saying? That was a great interview. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of my brother in God, my baby brother, Mr. PhD himself.
Yes, sir.
Sir, Mr. Baddest, Mr. Mofo, my Dolo, baby brother. Josh and Merrill, man, listen, man, I love you, bro. You know what it is. Always and forever the dynamic duo or for continue to do what we do with the Real2reel360. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know, you will know now. Real2reel360 is incorporated. So we're doing good things, we're doing great things, and we're looking to go further and beyond where we started. And we have to give a thank you to each and every one who supported us and believed within us of what we can do. So a shout out to all our fans, our followers and subscribers. We thank you. All right. We salute you. Thank you very much for supporting Real2reel360. All right, bro, you got anything else to say before we bounce?
Yes. Sunday we got a special episode, right? With Jay Rizzo. Jay Rizzo has a lot of history inside of hip hop and Southern Soul. He is coined the bad boy of Southern Soul hip hop. So tune in Sunday at 7 p.m. where we have Jay Rizzo.
All right. Peace to Allah's mighty 5% nation, the God's nurse to all the human families of the planet Earth. We say peace.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, we starting to come to the end of the show. Right now, I want to take the time out and thank our guests for coming on. Also, too, we want to make sure that y'all listening and subscribing and tell a friend and keep sharing because we're going to keep bringing y'all the real content. You know what I mean? So, DJ K-Wise, my brother, take us up out of here, son. Peace.
I want to give a big shout out to the nation of gods and earth, to all the human families of the planet Earth. I say peace. But to our subscribers, those who continue to watch and listen to the show each and every time we come on, I give a big shout out and love, peace, and happiness to you. To peace, the man, woman, and child of the you in our verse. It's time for us to disperse. We bring the best, not the worst. We thank you once again for tuning in to the Real2reel360. Bring a friend to hit that like and subscribe so we continue to grow to bring more knowledge and wisdom to you upon our show. You make it possible for us